My name is General Roméo Dallaire, and I feel the greatest problem facing Canada and Canadians is this false isolationism, this thinking that nobody knows really we're here.
General Roméo Dallaire was the head of the UN peacekeeping mission in Rwanda prior to and during the brutal 1994 genocide in that country. It would change his life forever, leading to his own struggles with PTSD and a personal mission to advocate for the prevention of mass atrocities. He went on to found the Roméo Dallaire Child Soldiers Initiative, while also championing mental health for other veterans. Dallaire himself is also a former Canadian senator. He says Canada's biggest problem is false isolationism. What's that, you ask? Dallaire believes we need to look beyond our own borders and consider Canada's broader place in the world. Here's his big fix. Hi, General Dallaire. Nice to see you. Thank you very much for making time for us.
Thank you.
General, I wanted to ask you why you have identified false isolationism as the biggest problem facing this country right now.
It is, in my opinion, that although in a number of arenas we are going global, we are not realizing the impacts of what is happening around the world in peace and security, the development of humanity and its ability to get rid of the disparities, the problem that in fact conflicts in other regions of the world have direct impacts on us in regards from refugees to even recruiting our youth. And ultimately, we are engaged in an ability to try to manage a whole new generation of youth activists who are global, who see the world as a small place and are ready to engage, but we don't take them seriously.
Why don't we take them seriously, do you think?
Because us old fogies consider them young people. We consider that because of experience, we have the answers, because of traditional bodies of politics and systems of governance and processes that have been established by convention over so many years, that we've got the appropriate tools at the right levels to take the right decisions. But in fact, we're in an era of near revolutionary constructs, from the communications revolution to the ability of, in fact, being in real time anywhere in the world and being able to literally see individuals as they are engaged in the problematics of their countries and how they see us now. And that's the big thing, is that they see us, they see it's different, the disparity is different, and they're not sitting there waiting for the future to sort it out. They're ready to get engaged and involve themselves, including with the ease of transportation, making their way to our countries and either come to destabilize or come, hopefully, in a positive sense. But we don't feel that, but the youth do, because they're already global with that communications tool.
Is it, when you talk about, in that respect, false isolationism, are you saying that people who don't make up that group of the youth, for example, who consider themselves global citizens, are thinking primarily of what affects them in their day-to-day life, or what affects them within their own backyard, versus the way that those young activists that you speak of might be thinking of things? Like, is it a different way of viewing the world?
Yes, and I'll use it even in a pejorative way. I think that we feel the village, we feel the town, we feel the province, we even feel the country and its sort of nationalism as sort of the boundaries of our interests, and which are our day-to-day and are guaranteeing our future. That is a false premise now, because the youth, I call them that generation without borders, are already grasping that it's the whole of humanity that's either in peril, that the communion between humanity and environment is not there, that they're being recruited as child soldiers from our own country because of dissatisfaction here and wanting to engage elsewhere, and youth of other countries. Remember, many countries of the world have 50% or close to 50% of the population under 25. You got to keep them going, because they will now, with the tools that they also have of communications are not going to sit back and wait for things to happen at home. They're going to push the envelope. So why don't we go to the forefront of that? Why don't we take the offensive and actually engage and really pursue what this middle power can do, is maximize the extraordinary potential we have through technology, our work ethic, our values, our belief in human rights. We can lead in this global adventure of making humanity advance versus just taking care of ourselves and ultimately one day be held accountable in history for not having maximized our potential.
So that leads me exactly to my next question. The series that we're doing here is very much focused on solutions. We want to know what the fix is for the problem that you've identified. You've alluded to much of it there, but if you were to identify in tangible terms what government, for example, could or should be doing to address the problem that you've identified, what would it be?
It is, in the first instance, realize that sovereignty and realize that the national construct is not an absolute anymore, and that they've got to build our capabilities to be able to handle the world and to look at the world as an entity that is completely identifiable, that we can Skype anybody in the world, and that we can, in fact, gain by maximizing our potential by sending our capabilities beyond our borders and bringing back, their knowledge, their experience, but others who can continue to build our capacity. That's the first thing to do, is to really look at Canada as a nation beyond its borders. And look at the last election, there was nothing in it. Secondly, the youth of the nation. I'm working with my child soldier work at Dalhousie to get into the Commonwealth Conference in June in Kigali, Rwanda, that a youth forum be integral part of our solutioning of the future. So we don't just tokenism with young people. They're not going to take that crap anymore. They want to be involved, and they want to be listened to, and they want to be part of answers. You know what? They do have answers. Just look around at what's going on the environment side, and they will become the activists of the future. And those under 25 who maximize this extraordinary revolution in communications, they're going to start moving the other generations aside because they don't have the patience wait for decades for that to happen.
Okay, I'll leave it there. Thank you, General Dallaire. Appreciate your insights very much on this subject.
I hope it's useful.
Very much so. Thank you.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Vashi Capellos, host of Power in Politics. See more of our show by subscribing to the CBC News channel or click the link for another video.